Hi class, just want to go over real quickly your assignment for this week. This is called the Stages of Social Development Newsletter. Pretty fun activity. You'll be creating this as if you are a classroom teacher, sending this out to your students and parents. So let's jump into it real fast. Some of you are having a couple issues with selecting a grade level and finding standards. I'm pretty partial to the Arizona State standards. If you click on if you don't click on this link, if you copy this link or write it down in your web browser, you will find it looks just like this. And depending on what grade level you're going to teach and what standards you're going to address, you'll click one of these. So I think math is always the easiest one to look at and find things that you want. So let's say I'm teaching maybe a 5th grade class. I can pull up these documents, and from there I can find those specific things that I want to address in my newsletter. Again, you're just finding a specific topic that you could ideally teach, and in ways that parents can help support those social and developmental trends within their own homes. So, for example, let's run through here. Oh my goodness, I pressed the button too long. There we go. All right. So this very first thing, let's just look at this real fast. Standard, use parentheses, brackets, or braces in numerical expressions and evaluate expressions with these symbols. So your lesson could be about anything that's around here, just to give you certain ideas of what you think you may want to ideally teach to have parents be involved in home. So look at these standards, find a grade level you think you'll be most comfortable in. You may have a couple, if you're teaching elementary, you may have a couple different ones, math, science, reading, or English language arts. So find those. If you're teaching middle school, high school, you're probably a little more individualized. You may have several different activities within science or English, depending on which department you are assigned to. So there's a great place to start to find standards to address in your newsletter, or things that you'll be teaching within your classroom at whatever point this newsletter comes out. So there's where you find your standards. Next, make a draft. This is the actual assignment. 500 to 750 word newsletter that could be sent home to parents describing. So 5 classroom activities. So those come from your standards, things that you'll be addressing within those pieces. So you'd explain, hey, we're going over using parentheses based on that example. And then you need to explain how these activities foster students' long-term personal and social developmental goals. How you describe that depends on you, but it's going to be hard to do that without visiting our class textbook. So I've gone ahead and pulled that up right now. It is Chapter 3 is your readings today, and you'll find just a wealth of knowledge in here. And again, you're looking at personal and social development. So as you go through here, it talks a lot about family dynamics. Are there other readings about the influence that family has on personal and social development within each of your students? This is an interesting thing about personality traits, sense of self. So again, this personal growth, helping your students develop those. Erikson is kind of a big name in that arena. As you go through, there's a specific, this is one I want you to look at. So developmental trends, this will give you a lot of suggested strategies to help develop those within your lessons. There's also a chart like this later on in your textbook that talks about the social aspect of things. So check those out, please. It's hard to do this assignment without doing the reading and understanding that part before you can apply it to your actual newsletter. Okay, so let's get out of that. Let's look back at this. Provide concrete suggestions about how parents can foster progress toward the same personal and social goals at home. So find ways that parents can do those same things, strategies they can do in the house to help support that aspect within the context of their homework or whatever we're working on in class. Suggestions referencing a specific theorist from the lectures or readings. Again, Erickson should be in there. You'll find others that relate to that. It does ask you to include a minimum of 3 scholarly references. Your textbook can be 1. Find the other 2 in the GCU library to help support that. Okay. I've had some people ask about this. Prepare the assignment according to guidelines found in the GCU Style Guide. Because it's a newsletter, you may have different formats, different things, and we'll look at some here shortly. Ultimately, you need to have good grammar, spelling, and just a professional demeanor, I guess, as you're sending that professional tone. So let's look at a couple newsletters from previous students. Again, you'll see they're all different based on how you want to do things. And I'll just scroll through these things. You can kind of see how each one of them is kind of set up. Again, it doesn't have to be exactly like any of these. Here's one that did fairly well, but wasn't set up like one of those other ones. No colors, no anything. Again, it's your choice, your newsletter, you're putting it out. However, I would encourage adding some color, adding some things to really help your students or your parents draw their attention to specific things. Because a lot of times as parents, we're looking at things that are sent home, we're saying, okay. Anyway, so have some fun with it, guys and girls. This is a very unique one as well. So each one of them was super different, but got the message across. And well, we got one more for you. So hopefully this gives you a good starting point, where you want to go and what you want to do with each one of these things. I hope this was helpful to you. Please make sure you're reading the rubric before starting, so you can kind of get an idea exactly what you want to have done by the end of everything. If you have any other questions or concerns, please message me in the forums. But if not, I'll wish you a happy day, and we'll see you back in class. Thanks. Bye.